Hello students, in the last class we have discussed about the nutrients which are required for plants, the nutrients which the plants require for its normal functioning. In the today's class we will study about photosynthesis. We will study about photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a photobiochemical process. It is a photobiochemical process in which organic compounds like carbohydrate are synthesized from the inorganic raw materials that are CO2 and water in presence of light and pigments, and O2 is evolved as the byproduct. In other words, we can say that light energy is converted into chemical energy by photosynthesis. What happens basically is that this light energy is converted into chemical energy. This reaction is carried out by Scientists also regard photosynthesis as an anabolic and endergonic process. It is also regarded as anabolic and endergonic process. If we summarize the equation of photosynthesis, it is 6CO2 plus 12H2O is converted to C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6H2O. And what is basically required? There is requirement of pigment and requirement of light. Now if we split it, then it has been found out that the oxygen which is obtained here comes from photolysis of water. This oxygen is obtained from this water, whereas this CO2 is responsible for the production of glucose. Now coming on to certain facts, 90% of total photosynthesis is carried out by aquatic plants. Now, roots of Tinospora and Trappa are photosynthetic. Photosynthesis is maximum in white light, followed by red light, and last is the blue light. This is about photosynthesis. But if we talk about the absorption spectrum, then maximum absorption spectrum is in blue light, followed by red light. Now this photosynthesis is broadly divided into two parts. One is light reaction and other is dark reaction. Now firstly we will discuss about light reactions. Light reactions are those reactions which takes place in presence of light. Those reactions which takes place in light. These light reactions are also called as phase reaction. Now in this light reaction we will study about certain terms. The first term is quantum requirement. Quantum requirement. What is basically quantum requirement? The number of photons required it is the number of photons required for evolution of it is the number of photons required for evolution of 1 mole of oxygen. Next term is quantum yield. What is quantum yield? The number of oxygen molecules evolved by 1 quanta of light in photosynthesis is called as quantum yield. Coming on to the photosystems. Many pigments are present in photosynthetic cells. These PSU or photosynthetic units present on thylakoid membrane membranes are made up of 200 to 400 molecules of various pigments called as quantasomes. This was discovered by a scientist called as Park and Beggins. Two types of photosynthetic units are present. It is PS1 and PS2, that is photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. This photosystem 1 gets activated at a wavelength above 680 nanometer, whereas PS2 gets activated up to a wavelength of 680 nanometer. This PS1 is involved in both cyclic as well as non-cyclic reactions, whereas PS2 is involved only in non-cyclic reactions. Mainly two types of reaction centers are present in this PS1 and PS2. Those are chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. This chlorophyll A has a formula of C55H72O5N4 and magnesium, whereas chlorophyll B has C55H70O6N4Mg. This chlorophyll molecule are magnesium porphyrin compounds. Porphyrin ring contains 4 pyrrole rings. It contains magnesium porphyrin ring and alcoholic phytol tail. The head of the chlorophyll molecule is made up of magnesium and porphyrin, while the tail portion is made up of alcoholic phytol ring. The tail portion of chlorophyll is hydrophobic, whereas head portion is hydrophilic. Chlorophyll A and carotenes. Chlorophyll A and carotenes are universal pigments which are found in all O2 liberating cells. That's all for today. In the next class, we'll start with the light reaction.